Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Beautiful Rodeo. Today it is gonna be just me and Abel because we have a lot to talk to you guys. Well, really to talk to each other about.
Yep, so we got a lot to get off our chest. But before we get started, you guys already know I have to give a quick shout out to our sponsors at Impulse in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. My guys, Travis and Shane. If you need any camera gear, equipment, whatever it is, feel free to check them out. They do online and you can stop in store in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. If you're not in Wisconsin, then place the motors online. So let's get right back into this episode here. Man, how are you feeling today?
Today, a lot of different things.
First of all,
Let me
let's
put my
say
water.
how'd you enjoy? What do you think about the ABS show in Chicago that we were at?
Yeah, so we went to the ABS show on Sunday and yesterday. However, yeah, no, yesterday I feel like the vibes were just vibing, and like the people are, I don't know, I just feel like they're super welcoming. It feels like a warm, happy family. Like, even though I feel like the ABS is more targeted towards like hairstylists and like barbers and stuff like that. But we went, just because it's just the beauty industry. They're like our brothers and sisters, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like I guess feeling that whole kind of experience and stuff was really nice because everybody was, like I said, like just like one big ass family, and like everybody was talking to everybody. Like all these barbers were talking to all these other barbers, and they're like super, like some of them are like super known, and then but they're just like showing so much like love and support to each other. And like so that was like really, really nice to see. And um what else? Like even like I mean hairstylists, I don't think we talked to any. But yeah, but like as far as like the barbers that I've seen, like they show like a whole lot of love in their community. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was something different for sure. Like, because we've been to Lash, shows, but this one was different. Shout out to Comb too that invited us as well.
Yes.
And then also we had a few friends there that were barbers, and it was an awesome show to show support to them as well.
Yeah.
It was completely different, and it's a beauty show, but then I was wondering like where was the like lash artist at, and there was like a very very few that would sell supplies there, but
Yeah.
or a few that we knew very little, but it was definitely some different, and it was a cool experience. I enjoyed it. It was
To be
fun
honest,
for
it
the
made me
past two.
feel like I wanted to be a barber.
Yeah.
I
Either a barber or
swear.
hairstylist.
I don't know about hair. I don't have patience for hair like that. But I know the people who like, well, like the hairstylists who like do extensions and stuff. That shit looks cool. But as far as like color and all that stuff, I'm good. But like just seeing like the different like little shows, or
Yeah.
not shows, but like, just all the talent. Like it's super cool. And it was just nice to see that, you know, them and the barber whole community and everything could just like all show love and support to each other. And
Yeah, because like
yeah.
everyone I talked to was like welcoming, or like like not stuck up or feeling like oh like a stranger or anything. Like um they were talking and telling about their fields. Um yeah, it was
And
actually just like overall I feel like it was a good environment.
I feel like everybody is like super helpful and stuff too, like um towards each other. Like the even just like the conversations that I heard, like just bypassing people, and they're like, man, bro, like I've been wanting to like I don't know.
Collab or something like
Dude,
that.
well, yeah, but like no, because we passed like a few guys, and I heard them like, "Oh man, like that's whatever." They were, it was someone on stage, like whatever, doing a haircut, and they had like asked another guy something, and then but they were just like randomly just like talking and stuff, like if it was just like they meshed together.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I'm not saying that everyone's probably like that, because I'm sure, you have those bad apples on that side of the industry too.
Yeah, I'm
But,
sure.
but the majority of people that we come across. We're welcoming and um just like giving a hand of like, let's collab. Like, I know you do lashes and I do this, but I'm having this event going on. Let's get together. That was cool. But then I noticed, like, I know since we go to like lash shows, it's a lot different. You don't get that vibe at lash shows. I feel
Sadly,
like, yeah.
sadly, no.
Now, this is a
I
topic that
don't.
I definitely want to talk about
Yeah,
because honestly, when I posted this on my story, I was surprised. There was a lot of people that was like, that were
same.
liking the
I
post.
got a whole lot of feedback on that.
And I was like really shocked because I'm thinking this whole time, like, man, like, I'm thinking this whole time they were like, they had this, um, thought of like, it's a community, like, oh, like, because I would see some people like, oh, like we care for each other in the community and we help each other and we're about uplifting each other. But in
You're talking
reality,
about the whole
it's
lash
the whole
community?
lash
Okay.
industry in
Uh-huh.
general, and I'm just thinking like, okay, well, yeah, well, maybe some people think like that, but some really don't. Like me, I'm one of them, to be honest. It's like the community is not. You have like the Mean Girl cliques, and let me read the post like
Yeah, read
word
that.
for
Read
word
that, read that, read
before
that,
we
read that.
even get into all this
Because I got a
because
whole lot to.
yeah. So this was like the trigger to the whole thing of my experience from going from ABS and to the other lash shows that we've been to. They were great, but the vibe wasn't there. And it's not anything towards like the people that put on events, it's more so the people that are there. So the post that I did on my story, I was like, yeah, we really need to step up in the lash industry. The lack of collaboration, networking, and the mean girl cliques are holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
energy
yeah.
I've experienced with barbers and hairstylists feel more like a family. There's no competitive tension. I know not everyone is like this way, but it's definitely a better vibe than what we see in the lash community. Also, we need to make a change. No doubt about it. Having attended many shows, I can confidently say we're not there yet. It's time for a change. If you say there's no competition in the lash industry, you're lying. Stop it. I know you see it. And when I posted this on my story, a lot of people like it loved, and like there was a few people that reached out and were like, "Oh my gosh, like I thought I was the only one that felt this way. I'm glad you're speaking up about this." Or
See, and you know what? Not
or
to
hold
cut
on, hold on.
you. Oh
I
my
some
God.
were like,
See.
"I'm not gonna attend any shows because of this reason."
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot of, okay. Okay. It's a whole lot of yeah, for one, a whole lot of clicks, and everybody is like always talking about, not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody in the whole lash community, because I know there are some very sweet, very humble, very helpful people who really want to do all of this together, but there are those people, and trust me, I know, because we came across this, and they're fake as fuck.
yeah,
I don't care. I'm gonna say it. Fake as fuck. What you see on social media, that is not them at all. Like in real life, they pretend to be all like super sweet, super helpful. Like, oh, I love this person. I love all of my whole lash community and da da da. But then in your face, they're just like stuck up. So I see that. I see that a lot, and I just feel like, because from you, when you had posted that on your story, I did, well, I think you
you
tagged me.
shared it
Yeah,
too.
and I shared it on mine. I got a whole lot of other people like messaging me like, oh my God, like, yeah, so I came across that like a few times or whatever, and that's honestly the reason why, like, I love going, like a girl was like, oh, because her man is a barber, and she likes to go to those events with him instead over, going to any like lash events, which is, it sucks, and
Hmm.
it's fucked up, and it's sad that it's even like that, because it don't even need to be like that. Like, we could all be one big like successful whole like community all together, where we collab and we help each other out, and we're actually truly, caring about other people, because obviously I'm here right now in Wisconsin. Obviously people who are in California, I can't lash those people over there? Why is there competition? Why are you guys like I don't know, you guys are just so some of you guys are just so fake. And all this, like, okay, so for all these people to like have messaged me after like me sharing that story on, well, his post on my story, like I said, it shouldn't be like that at all. And I hate that people even feel that way, because you guys look up so much to like these bigger people who have just a whole lot of, you know, following, which honestly means nothing at all, because you can have this big ass following and be still a bitch,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, compared to someone who is just, you know, just like your regular person, and they can be just as knowledgeable and just as like experienced and stuff, and will be more than willing to like, you know, collab and like just
uplift you and just like give you
just
that
all of that.
motivation, and it's just like that great experience and stuff. And and like, I mean, that happened to us where I won't say any names, but when we went to the show,
Yeah.
and then I guess this particular person found out I was following them. They're like, "Oh, where'd you come from?" And then
Oh, are you talking
yeah, and
about?
then they gave
Okay,
you
okay.
a dirty like look.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
you did.
we were in this
It was like a show. It was
we were
like
in the show.
in the show part. You know, it was a show, and then we went to go see someone, and the person happened to be sitting in there.
we went to go see
That,
someone
you know,
speak.
we kind of pretty much watched and kind of like
I
watched their
was like,
content.
I loved this person. Like, this was one of the people that I was like, oh my goodness, like almost fangirling, you know? But
Yeah.
like, and then to see that person in person, and then, you know, he's like, oh, well, Abel is like sitting next to this person, and then all of it, like, obviously they knew who he was, because Abel's whatever, you know,
Yeah, it was just
huge
at that
and
time,
whatever.
like, yeah, I was just, you know, coming up, and then was like,
And then
yeah.
that's when he was like, oh, you know, whatever, the Lash Cowboy. And then the other person's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like standing right there, and I'm like, oh my God, is this? And then I'm not even kidding. This person literally is like,
yeah.
So it's like, and I'm like, really? Like, but yet when Abel's like, when
Move the mic right there.
When Abel was like, oh, this is, you know, he's like introducing me to the person, like, this is my wife, this is Elly. Then everything changed up. Then he's like, oh, you know, so I'm just like, you know, that's bogus, because at that very second too, I was like, unfollow. I no longer have any kind of respect for him. Just like that vibe that I got from that person was just ick.
Yeah, and then I feel like there was a lot of tension too when I was there, you know, at that time, but I didn't give a shit. Like, I didn't give a fuck at all, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I didn't have and that's what the thing is, that some people get that wrong. Is it like that wrong perspective or of me? Like, they think I have a big ego, but representation, is it? Or what am I looking for?
They just, yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
So like they
have the wrong
impression of me.
Exactly.
There you go. The wrong impression of me, and that I have a big ego and yada yada, but I really don't. It's just like, I really don't. And some think I'm too aggressive, or some think that, oh, he thinks he's a shit and all this other stuff, but no. And then when I was first coming up, it's like there was a reason why I had like a little ill will towards the Lash Industry, is just because of that experience, first of all. Second of all, is that
the only experience.
Yeah, and then like everyone else just would act so fake, and it's like that was the only problem that I had in this industry, was that everyone likes to put up a front, and then acts like different behind the scenes, or when you meet them in person. And that was just my thing about the industry, honestly. But other than that, I'm like down to earth. I'm welcoming, and at least I think I am. But
Yeah. I
I like
mean,
to. Everyone says I'm humble. Whoever meets me on camera, I don't know how you think of me, but when they meet me in person, I'm just a regular guy that loves what I'm doing and likes to like. I was there at one point where I was a rookie, and this is something that I didn't fucking work. I didn't like learn overnight. Lashing. This is something that I've pretty much been doing for years, and then just
yeah.
finally people are catching on it. Compared to
Yeah.
other people that I probably done it longer than them. So it's like I don't know why you mad if I've been doing this shit longer. I just happen to pop
Well,
off on
and
social media,
yeah, and not only that, but the reason for that really is just being yourself and being, raw and authentic. And like
Yeah.
I've always told you, is to whatever, like fuck everybody and you be yourself. You continue to be yourself,
Well,
even
I
if
honestly
regardless of
100%.
what
Yeah.
they think of you, whether it's, oh, he's aggressive or he's an ass, oh, he's cocky or he's this or he's that. It's like, no, like you're gonna have your people who are gonna like you and who have met you and who do know the real you.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be like, like fake or whatever on
Yeah.
whatever when they first like.
I'm real as it gets. So if you whatever however you see me, that's just me. And sometimes I'm in my own world where it's just like, but I'll talk and like open up a lot. But there's times where I'm just like, yeah, like I'm trying to kind of like that.
He's just a cool guy.
Yeah, a little anxiety, but I'll open up. Like I don't let anything
Yeah.
stop me. So, but enough about me.
Yeah.
Like going back to about the shows,
Let's talk
like
about me. No, just
yeah,
kidding.
about you. Yeah, like you've been doing this for a long time too, and it's um
Well, yeah, and that's literally what I have. Okay, so like just little old me here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had like started out a whole bunch of freaking years ago. I'm not gonna go all into it. Um, but I had always seen just like this what we're talking about for all these years. And I remember even talking to you about it, like, man, like this person is like this, and like, whatever. And I would get like frustrated, but then it's like, well, whatever. But like, so yeah, like just, I don't know, I guess whatever, all the stuff that we're talking about right now, and, has been what's been on my fucking chest for like over 10 years.
yeah.
And yeah, so come on, let's keep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, so going back to the industry, that's how it was. Like, competition and just like these mean girl cliques, where even when we were there too, it was just like clicky. Like, if you, I have homework for everyone. If I guarantee, if you go into to look at these shows, it's always the same people over and over each year and year and year. And it's like that's how you can kind of tell it's that they have their own clique is because it's usually the same
Well,
people.
yeah, and like these big ass brands, like they
Yeah.
have their cliques, they have
Yeah.
their little people, their ambassadors, their people who work for them or whatever it is, and they have their whole people, and it's just the same people,
Mm.
So it's like,
Like, do
like
I want to go to
we
the show? Do I want to go to the show and see the same, hear what the
hear the
same
same
three people
people,
that I gotta hear again from the
yeah,
previous year and then the other year? And it's like, no, I want to pick someone else's mind. If you got someone else that you have in mind, bring them
yeah.
on. And I get that some people are uncomfortable going on like a stage or presenting in front of people, being a speaker or whatever. But I mean, it just goes to show you that how clicky it can get. Now, when we were at the ABS show, it was like so many different faces,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there's probably the same three people there, but overall, this is a big show compared to like last shows.
Yeah, this was huge.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
like, man, like the whole expo center and
convention center or
right
whatever
in
in
Chicago and
was it
Rosemont,
Rosemont or Chicago? I don't
Rosemont,
know.
Illinois.
Uh,
Well, we say Chicago.
yeah, Illinois is just Chicago to us, whatever.
Yeah, so like, so yeah, like that's how big that show was. And you did have some people working at different brands too, but they knew like it was different brands, but they were still like, "Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah,
Like, what's going on? Yeah, this is what we got going on." And I get like behind I guess the company, the faces, they may have competition, behind the scenes, but the ambassador wise, like everyone working there,
Yeah.
helping out, they they were talking to each other. They didn't act like they were stuck up and too good for each
Mm-hmm.
other. Compared to like, if you were to go to last show, and it's like I always get that. I always see people like, oh, why don't you do your own show? Like, if you have a problem, if you have a problem, or if you think you can do better, why don't you put on your own show? And it's like that defeats the whole purpose of trying to bring a community together. Like,
Right. It's like, okay,
yeah, like,
so you want me to go, well, so you're telling me to go make my own show now, but yeah, I'm trying to be a part of this community that you
yeah,
guys supposedly, brag about. What's up with
yeah,
that? But then now you're saying go make your own
own
if you could do
show,
better. Like that makes no sense.
yeah.
That's You proved my point.
Yeah,
Like exactly.
that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, well, what if you say fuck it? Like, I'm gonna go do my own show then, and then you're gonna only invite some of your friends, your
Right. And that's just not
homegirls,
how it should
and
be.
then now we're separated from them, and then
Yeah.
you got that crew over there, and it's just that's not how it should be, and there's no. I feel like there's no growth to that, and then I always hear people talk about I wanna, I wanna there should be more collaboration in the industry, but there really isn't.
Well, that and the funny thing is that even two people be like, oh, like the lash industry hasn't seen nothing new. We need something new. We need something, whatever, whatever it is. And then when that new comes out, like for example, when you had came out and the whole
Yeah,
lash cowboy, that shit went fucking crazy. And I swear to God, you started that trend in the whole lash industry with the whole Western and the whole cowboy. All of a sudden, everybody's like lash cowgirl and all this stuff, it's cool. Like, I'm not even mad at that because that, like, I know you started that because nobody else was like doing anything like that. And it was such a cool thing to see. But then once people started like catching on to that, then it's like, oh, we need something new or something like,
not even. They just will act like they wouldn't acknowledge it at
that's what I'm
all.
saying. We need something new,
Yeah,
just
so
like
or not.
overlooking
Yeah,
it.
they're just
Like if it's like,
overlooking it, but I'm still here, and it's
and
like,
but okay, I let me take it back because I'm not sitting here trying to like brag or anything like that. But I'm just saying, you know.
yeah, well, no, that's what I'm trying to see too. Like they say we want something new, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm here, I'm new, I'm a
Yeah.
guy, and I'm
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, we need like new faces, new people, new
okay. So
something
then there's a
coming up."
guy in
And then
the
something comes up and then they're like, "Still, we need something new." Like
yeah. Well, there's a
it's
guy
over
in
the
the
head.
industry. That's what I'm trying to say is that there's a guy in the industry, but yet you don't. What is that word? You don't like want me to be
Spit it out.
involved to like use me, I guess that's what I'm saying, like invite me or anything like that, or
Like just they don't.
acknowledge that I'm here, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
there's a new person, and I'm sure there's other people that are joining little by little that we may not know about,
Mhm.
and that's the whole reason of collabing and networking and seeing who's out there. If you want something new, then look for it. Stop looking within the
Mhm.
fucking your clique or your group and
Yeah.
inviting the same fucking 2, 3 people over
See,
and
and
over.
that's
And
funny
then
because
there's like new blood, kind of like in
yeah,
Twilight where they get new fucking vampires,
you're
fresh
dumb.
blood or whatever. But it's like that's what I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to prove. And
Mhm.
with the barber industry, there's always someone new. There's always a new barber. There's always a new um leader. There's always someone new that's influential to look up to.
Mhm.
And here, you don't really get that, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not so much about me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
feel I
bragging
feel
about
like
me,
no,
but
no,
I'm
no. I
trying to
know, no, no,
prove a
no.
point that to
Yeah.
collab with others to see what's out there, see who's out there, who's killing it.
Mhm.
Why do you keep
And
on?
they're just stuck with the same. They talk about, oh, we need new meat, we need this, we need this. But yet when that new person comes out with their own new like trend or something and like tries to make it theirs and they're a smaller person than one of the bigger people, come and like, oh, well, let me snatch that up because they're not going to be seen. I'm going to be seen. And then they make it theirs. And then it's like, still trying to be, well, still like that bigger
This
person
is a perfect.
getting all of that attention and everything when really the little person over here is the one that started it. You know what I mean? And that shit is so annoying. It's like give credit where credit is fucking due.
Yeah, and it's a perfect example that I'm gonna bring up right now. The anime sets, right?
Hmm.
There's only one person that I know overall that actually brought the technique over here and that everyone's trying to do now
Hmm.
is, from China. And I believe it's like Lin Designs or some shit like that. Lin Designs. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but she was the one that done the anime, and now everyone's trying to do it. Or you have one that tries to cop, like doesn't give any credit.
Well, I
Like
mean, that's like a whole trend though,
yeah, exactly. But there's one person that I know that I'm sure everyone seen this girl do it, and then it's
I
kind
don't
of
think I've
like
ever come
I have
across her.
because I've been watching the industry. That's what I'm seeing. Is that I'm seeing like every new artist coming in, and it's
Hmm.
just like everyone tries to like do this like style and act like they like this certain technique like lifting the lid and stuff. Um Everyone just tries to copy that style,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's going back into that's what I'm saying. Like I watch everyone and
And that's fine.
sometimes I do,
I
but
feel
not
like
all the
if people
time.
are gonna copy and like try to do that, like at least be like, oh my God, shout the person out where they got that idea from, like give credit.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, you see it from everyone from China, but like I'm saying, like now it's like, oh, like I'm gonna take credit, like I came up with it, or like some of these people that are from here, and it's like, oh, I got this technique from China, but I'm sure there's someone here teaching it,
My
So
throat is so dry right now.
that's
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying. Like, just don't sit here and act like you don't acknowledge people when there's other people that are doing great, and I see it all the time. There's a few people in Texas, there's a few people in California or like Florida, and it's
Hmm.
like, and I get some of them are like smaller, but if you're gonna be a leader, then you want to be a leader that involves everyone, not just leave people out and invite the same fucking 3 4 people every year,
Hmm.
or kick you with the same people, 3 to 4 people. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say is that going back into the ABS show and seeing everyone being cool, and I'm sure like there's some people that maybe that can't get along because maybe that certain person has a big ego, so I get it. But like, and I heard stories about some of these people from other people. I'm not gonna say names, but the industry is that you can definitely see that, in our industry, the lash industry, is
Well,
that.
yours because I'm part of the brow industry now.
Well,
But
yeah, you don't do lashes anymore, so you've been
only for my current
whenever
clients.
you,
That's all.
huh?
I said only for my current
For your
clients.
current clients, yeah, but you just gotta own that shit that you're a bra artist already.
I've been a brow artist for over fucking 10 years or 11 years, I think now.
Yeah, I know, but
So
own it now.
I
Like
know,
you're.
I know. But what was I gonna say? So what we were talking about, about like bigger people, okay? So and them just like being not wanting to collab, just being the mean girl cliques or whatever the fuck, right? So we talked about that. However, I said however, it isn't just the bigger people, you know? It's also these smaller people, even like locally, right? So you got um people like even here where we are, where it's like we would love to collab with people. We would love to like even just doing like little events like paint and sips, like literally for everybody, like lash artists, brow artists, whatever, to like just like come together and like do something together where it's like we can like learn from each other, or maybe not even, or maybe it's just like one night where it's like getting to know each other, being around people who are like-minded and who do what you do too, and just be cool and be business friends and stuff like that. But it's like it's hard to even do that too because everybody here obviously so much in competition and everybody's like like fucking rip your head off type, attitudes and stuff. And it's like, once again, it doesn't need to be like that, because I'm sure all of us can learn from each other something, or take something from someone else that we just never knew, or whatever the hell. We can all help each other out. We could definitely all do that together. But everybody, not everybody, but some people are just so closed-minded, and closed-minded people are just not going to get anywhere. They're not going to grow. They're not going to, you know, what is it? Excel, because of them being so closed-minded. You have to be, you know, open with other people, with other business people. And, I don't know, like,
Yeah, just
that's the
like,
reason why, like, if, like, with us, like, I love, and that's honestly one of the biggest things and the biggest reasons why we are doing this podcast, is because I love to sit down and talk to, like, people I've never met before, to figure out who they are, you know what I mean? And then it's funny, because after we wrap up the podcast and we're like, walking them out and stuff, where it's kind of like, hey, like, we should do this, and like, like, boom, like a collab, you are learning new people, you're getting to know different people from different backgrounds, and like doing different things and stuff, and you just don't know how much you can get out of someone, and they can get out of you, and you guys can help each other out, and that's how it really, really should be. And that's how fucking successful people become successful, because they know people, and if you stay so close-minded, you ain't going nowhere.
yeah, I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I know when we posted that story, someone just like messaged us the other day. They're like, "Oh, well, you guys should do like some community
That's
thing
what I was
here
talking about. Yeah.
in our city."
And I was
And
like, yeah, starting here in our state. And I was like, I would honestly love to. Like, I want to. I don't know, that I would love for that to be one of our goals for sure.
you love to, but
But
that's the thing, is that that's what I'm trying to say, is that
that's what I
everyone,
just talked
I
about.
know, but I'm saying try to get everyone to cooperate in those
Yes.
things. And
Well,
that's
cooperate and actually want to be like, oh, there's going to be people there from my state, from my city, or whatever. Like, I want to go, but like, they'll legit be like, oh no, like, for what? I don't want to go to that.
Yeah,
Like,
because like
I
some
already
people
know
may
all
not,
this. Like, I
some
don't
people
care.
that are probably new to the industry, here in Milwaukee, like they don't see that side where people will try to collab, or they just have this mindset, excuse me, the crab bucket mentality where, excuse me, oh, damn, this caffeine, sorry guys. The crab bucket mentality where they see a successful person moving on up, and then they drag them down and they try to hate on them or talk shit about them and dragging them down. The crab bucket mentality that some people hear, and I'm not saying everyone is. Like, there's some cool, artists that we talk to, or um, there's some that we'll try to communicate with, and they'll communicate with us a little, and you got some that know us, but then they act like they don't, according to other people. But so we definitely want to be more involved in our community here, in the lash industry, or and trying to network with other people,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people for everyone, and that's going for the lash community. How you're gonna grow and make this industry likable when you don't even have anything much that's fun and relating to smaller artists or whatever. And that's going back into copying styles too. Like I'm saying, like, Lana's a perfect example too, where like everyone tries to take her style, and it's like, nah, that's all you see, this whole
The
trend.
little metal,
The
I don't,
picture thing,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
picture, the
Which
black and
obviously
whites, and
Lana
like it's like
started,
everyone is like doing it, and it's like
which
they
is
won't,
which is cool,
which is cool and it's
but
full. But I'm talking about the people that don't give that credit or don't even just
Well,
act
I mean, and
acknowledge
not
like
even that,
it's
but
like
it's
you don't even have
just,
to say anything. We already know.
well, yeah, yeah, I get that. And I don't know, I feel like when it comes to that, like, they don't necessarily need to be like, oh, I got this little clip thingies for my pictures or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Like, they don't, I feel like they don't have to, like, be like, oh, yeah, I got the
Yeah, I
idea
know,
from
but you
Lana.
just know the
But
whole
it's just the
style.
fact that, right, it's just, Lana just gives that, like you
woman
just you
boss
just say Lana
something,
and you already can picture her. Like you can picture her whole brand, like all of that. And then it's like then a bunch of other girls and stuff are like making their pages like that, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with looking up to other people and stuff like that. But then again, like also keep in mind too, like it's okay to like be yourself and also do, throw some different stuff
yeah,
up
or at
in
least
there,
be like, yeah, I was inspired, but just don't try to just don't be here and be like, um, I don't acknowledge it and whatever, and it's okay, it's all right, if people want to do Western shit, and that's cool, whatever, just be yourself at the end of the day, and in order for us to come in as like a community and collab, let's all communicate with each other and be cool and not just be having a big ego and like I said, with the few people now, you know, we may not get anywhere with them, but there's new leaders coming into this industry. There's new people every month or year, so
And honestly, I wouldn't even say I don't like calling people leaders or
leaders.
anything like that. No, no,
Well, I
no,
mean,
no.
like in the
I
industry, like now I want to say like leaders, but like, well,
I would
sort
just
of
say
like
just
like
maybe
you're
like
trying
people
to
who are
guide
more,
people to
yeah,
the
yeah, people who are maybe more experienced, who are actual like, you know, people out here that are helpful and that are in it for all the right reasons,
yeah.
those people. But like as just because you have
That's what I
no,
mean.
no,
That's what
no.
I'm trying to
Just because
say.
you don't, just because you have like all these like tens of thousands or just hundred, I
For
don't know,
people to
of
make the change
followers,
in
like
the
it just
industry,
doesn't
those
matter.
are the leaders I'm talking about. People that want to make
But
the change in the
I,
industry.
here and there, because smaller people can make a change as well. And bigger people can see that. And those bigger people will take those
I mean,
ideas and try to make it theirs.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That going back into what I'm talking about, like the whole not acknowledging anyone at all. Like small,
Yeah.
big, doesn't
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're here, you're making that little change, but I don't see you, buddy. Like, I'm
Exactly.
doing
I've
this.
seen that a lot.
I copied this. This is my style, or trying to claim it. That's exactly what I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to.
Mhm.
Like, even if you don't even have to have 1 million followers or thousands of following. You
Yeah.
just can be someone that has like 5, 10,000 making a big
Or not
difference,
even.
and then you got this big artist that's taking that style or like trying to like that sees you. That's what I'm trying to get to, where me, for example, where it's like there's this guy in the industry, he's doing his thing, not
Yeah.
sounding like a big ass, not have sound like I have a big ego, but I'm just saying that there's like a little buzz, and then it's just like, um, we're gonna kick it with the same three people. We don't care, which is fine. I don't expect anyone to sit here and be like, oh, like they say, if they rock with you, they rock with you. If they don't, they don't, right? So
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so I know your transition from the lash industry to the bra industry. It's pretty much. I know, like some people had like questions about that too. Your transition from the industry
Well,
to
it
the
wasn't
bra.
a transition. I mean, I've been doing this shit.
No,
but
but you focus. Come on
but
now, you've been focusing on both, and then now you're transitioning to
no,
bras.
I was
I know someone did ask about like your permanent makeup journey too. Like, oh, like
uh-huh.
how was that? Like learning experience. You had pretty much like a lot of
Well, I mean, I had a
work.
bunch of like that brow experience, so I already have the experience. Like I had already came up with my own brow mapping technique from years ago. And so when I picked up the permanent makeup, that's when I was like, okay, I know how to shape some brows. Like I could do that shit in my sleep. But like now it was just learning the whole technique and like the shading and like tattooing correctly and like my color mixtures and the color wheel and just all that stuff. So like yeah, took time to get, comfortable with all of that, but that shit came like nothing. Like I'm just a very quick learner. Like my hands are just like butter. And honestly, I mean everybody, yeah, I just have, I guess, I don't know. When especially when like tattooing like eyebrows and stuff, you want to be like very light-handed, not going too deep and all the stuff. I don't want to talk about all that, but it's just
Yeah,
yeah.
just the process of like,
Yeah, it's
your
just
own
yeah,
journey of going into it.
you like practicing and everything, but like I was already all up in the brow industry and in the lash industry, but like just recently I just kind of was like I'm done with lashing, like I have been wanting to retire completely from lashing for years now. I know I would tell you all the time like I think I'm ready,
Yeah,
but
your
then
body
like
was feeling it.
yeah, but like now it's just, like my body and like my hands, my arms, my wrists, my fingers, like everything. And even my eyes, like I would legit be like lashing and I just felt like my eyes twitching and I'm like, dude, this shit, I'm done. And so yeah, that's why I was like, you know, I am keeping my current clients that I have now. It's just gonna be too hard to let them go. I just can't do it. Not right now. So, yeah,
Yeah.
but like I just don't want to take on any new clients. Like I'm good with the ones that I have, and like brows have always been something that I literally love doing, and it makes me happy, and I kill it every time. So yeah, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I
and
felt really motivated coming from that ABS show for sure though. Like I was like motivated and driven to like make a difference in the industry. Um I had my ways, and like being at that show was like definitely a different experience because you see all these successful artists like barbers, stylists, and everyone, and they're making a difference in the industry for sure, like a big difference. And I feel like in this industry, like I want to make a difference too, and that definitely motivated me a lot. So I don't know, what did you take out of? Did you even feel anything? I feel like you were just in your own world over there.
yeah, because I be in my own head like that, because I know what I want to do and I know that I just have to keep on being myself and like, since I've come out of the whole lashing and stuff and now getting into brow, well, not getting into, but like completely full time, just brows, brows, brows only. Um, like I know that I do have some catching up ish to do, but like mostly really just like showing myself because like I mean the work is there, my work is amazing, and I just want to be able to show people me because at the end of the day that's the reason why people continue to come to you is because of the person that you are, your personality, the way you treat your clients, um and because yeah, you need to treat your clients like
Yeah,
yeah,
like
just
royalty basically,
yeah, you have to
and
like that's what's gonna make
yeah,
them
even some
come
of
want to come
these,
back and everything.
yeah, some of these artists that feel stuck too, like, oh, like I feel like I'm not improving, or like I feel like I'm stuck. You just have to keep working at your craft every time. Your craft, learning a lot, new styles, and you can't sit here and like learn one set, because like now I feel like everyone's trying to pick up on that now. Like they started off with volume, and I get it a lot. A lot of people we're doing volume, and then now wanting to learn wispy sets, and then that's good. That's what you want to add to your arsenal. So you want to pick up on different skills. That's going to make you stand out too. Your pricing is going to play a factor too, and I'm just kind of like tired of like seeing people um setting that standard for them on the pricing and stuff. Uh, just starting off with low pricing and not charging their worth. You have to charge your worth, and you're like probably nervous and scared, like, oh, what if no one like trust me? Like when I did my pricing, like everyone was, there was people that didn't fit the budget, and which is okay. You got people that are for you, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you just have to stick to your guns, and that's the only way you're gonna grow and succeed too in the industry. So,
Yep.
all right. So what you gotta add? What you want to add on?
Um, you're irritating. Um, oh, I know we had talked about this the other day, just about um, what was it? About balance. That's what we were talking about.
Mhm.
And um, I mean, I don't know. We
Yeah, going to
can,
balance. I feel like I've had some mothers and like people that are like wanting to do this as a career too, lashes and like even brow work too. Having that balance, I get that a lot because I have people that will sit there like I don't have the time and I'm working a lot. Like that's great, right? You want to obviously working to pay your bills and stuff, but if you're doing this full time, you know that you can make that time to take an hour to 2 hours out of your day to like hit the gym or to like cook something healthy or something
yeah.
to really get on a set schedule. So you can't sit here and say like you don't have the time. If you have kids, it can be rough, but if you're someone that's single, I can see it can get a little complicated. But that's when you have to figure out a schedule. Now, if you have a husband, you may want to get on his ass and be like, "Hey, I need some help. Like, can you help me out? Like, I help you sometimes."
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's why, like, I'll get some people that will be like, "Yeah, I just don't have the time. My husband's working or something." Like, I'm like, well, why can't they help out? And then
Well,
it's
not even
just
that, I just feel like, yeah, because, well, let's just say recently I have dropped, well, I have lost 25 pounds. Woohoo, yay! Can we have the clapping audio up in here? Uh, and then you turn around like, clap, clap, clap. Okay, but no, yeah, so I am down 25 pounds. Period. Anywho, um, I have whatever it I don't want to get into the reason why, it started. That's just something more personal to me that I don't feel like talking about yet. But I like literally changed everything and I was like, this is it. Like I am done with like all these excuses because I'll be honest, like I was the queen of excuses. I was always like, oh, well, I don't have time. I can't do it. Like, the kids are, whatever, doing this, or I'm tired, or my back hurts, or this hurts, or I gotta do this, and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I even just like posting like on my stories or whatever, just like whatever kind of sharing it with you guys about like my whole like just weight loss and stuff kind of journey. People asking me like, well, what are you doing, and like how did you do it, and like, oh, you look so good, and what's like your secret, like, oh my God, I wish I had the time, like how do you find the time to do all that, like you guys have 3 kids, you guys work, and all of this, and how do you find balance, and honestly, if I would have told you guys this maybe like the end of last year, even the beginning of this year, I would have been and told you guys like balance, there is no balance. Like you just, however, now I have learned where yes, there is balance. You need to have balance in your life, because without it, then yeah, you are going to spiral out of fucking control, and you have to make the time for something. If you're really wanting to do it, you have to make the time. No one else is going to do it for you. You're the one that has to do it. You know, like I said, I was the queen of fucking excuses constantly. And like, he would tell me all the time, like, oh, well, you know, if you want something, like, you have to do it. Like, if you're not going to change it, then you're accepting it, you know? And now I'm just like, you know, like, I fucking, I don't understand. I don't see how I even went without it before, you know, like, ever since all this, you know, just stuff with my health and everything, I was always like, you know, I'm done. I have to do this. Like, no fucking, I have no, what's the word? I have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately I was like, no, dieting, and I don't even call it dieting at all. Like, this is just a whole lifestyle change for me. And like, I changed my life completely around, like, fucking stopped being a fat ass, a big back and stuff. And like, cause
Like
I would,
basically cold turkey, you cut out
yeah, I
everything.
did. Like, overnight, like, I'm not even fucking kidding. Like, overnight, it was clean. Like, all I'm eating right now, chicken, fish, veggies, fruit, brown rice, and water. I don't drink nothing else. Like, I don't eat nothing else. Like, that is honestly it. I don't have any sweets. I don't have nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I drink like a whole gallon of water every single day. Like I said, I don't drink coffee anymore, and I used to drink coffee every fucking day. But I don't drink nothing else but
Yeah.
water. My eating is super clean. I'm working out like 3, 4,
Times a
sometimes
day.
5.
I
5, well, not a day, sir, but a week.
I mean a week.
So working out very often and stuff. And like, but yeah, like, that, the way I found my balance was like doing it just
Making a
like,
priority.
yeah, it has to be like. And we have 3 kids. We have 3 kids at home that are crazy as fuck and drive us crazy. But I want to live a long, healthy life for my kids. So I knew that I needed to make this change like immediately. And I'm so glad I did, because when you do, like, I swear you feel so much better. You obviously are going to drop weight. You're going to have a lot more energy. You're going to have some good sleep. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better about yourself. Your confidence is going to go up. Clothes that never used to fit me. These pants used to be tight as fuck. I swear, like, I couldn't even button them. And anytime when I would wear them, they would be unbuttoned. Um, but like, now they're like loose, like, it's crazy. But yeah, so when it comes to your guys' questions, like, asking me, how do you find the time? Like, you have to make the time. You really have to stop with all these excuses that you keep telling yourself and your family or whatever, because look yourself in the mirror and know that you are just giving a shit ton of excuses, and you don't want it that bad. Because if you did, you would have already been changed it all up. So yeah, if you are thinking about making a change and like with your health and, you know, just finding that balance, just know that you can do it. Like, if my ass could do it, you can do it. So yeah.
Yeah, that goes into like, working, then you have to make content to work until working out to having time for yourself. And trust me, it's not easy at all. Like, having to juggle all of that content, working, having self-care. But when you know how to make the time to manage, like you said, there's no balance. It really isn't. We all have the same
No, there
20.
is. I
I
used to
mean,
say that there wasn't.
what, a balance?
I used to
No,
always
well,
say,
like I'm saying, like
like, you have
you
to.
have to get the balance. But like I'm trying to say is that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's how you manage those 24 hours of making things a priority. If you're sitting down at home watching Netflix, you know that fucking shows can, like for example, like I want to watch a basketball game, the Bucks, and it's like, well, I know the Bucks ain't gonna pay my bills or help me get fit, so I'm gonna skip that, or this TV series is gonna not pay me and fucking get me in better shape, so I'm gonna skip that. So it's everything about time management and priorities that you gotta take.
And if you really want to watch that stuff, go watch it at the gym. Like that's what
Yeah.
I do. I
Or
put
yeah.
I
Or
watch it on, or the gym has the Bucks game playing, or
yeah.
like if I want to watch Netflix, I pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, so you want to go to go to gym, watch that shit there. So if you have no kids, there definitely should be no fucking excuse as to why you can't have the time. But if you have kids, I can see it. But like I said, it's going back into finding that rhythm. Like maybe you need to wake up early, or a lot early, to get up and get your kids ready for school, take them to school. Or if you have a little like baby, find childcare. There's gyms that have childcare,
Mm-hmm.
that is part of the membership. Like I know you're probably like, I don't want to, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but it's only for an hour. You got a lot of other kids in that gym that's there. You got other people looking. You can check up on them. So it should be, it's all about priority and making that time to having that time to work out. If you need to make content, like me, for example, I like to schedule it out. Like I know in 2 days from now, I'm gonna do some content, and I like to script things out, and knowing what I'm gonna plan ahead of time, to do content. So having that in the schedule. Oh, I have to take care of this. Writing everything down too in the agenda on your phone, to just keeping track of everything of your time. It's time management. So you can't sit here and say like, "Oh, I don't have the time." You do have the time. You just have to make it a priority and find the time that really means a lot to you. Because I see in some cases that, you know, this whole time they're slacking off, or this whole time until it's too late, or like it's a last minute decision, a change, because, I don't know, something that came up, and you're just like, fuck, I'm like close to 300 pounds, and like now I have to like drop this weight, and it's going to be a lot harder in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make that change right away. If you're feeling like shit, like your body, you feeling sluggish and stuff, make that change. And especially if you want a longevity in the lash industry, taking care of your body is really important. Um, working out your core, taking care of your back,
Mm-hmm.
getting a stronger back, core, your arms and stuff. So if you want longevity in this industry, you definitely got
Well,
to take
that
care of that
and
body.
really just also moving around too, like especially with lashes, like that was the one thing that I couldn't stand, was just sitting all day, like lashing all day, and then you get up and your legs are killing
Yeah,
you, and
like
then it's like,
shit.
in
Yeah,
between, man, get up, like go for a walk,
they
get you
even
a
have
little
those.
walking pad. I got a walking pad,
Yeah,
like bring that shit to your studio, to where you work, like hop on that. Like if it's nice outside, go outside, take a
give
walk. Like that's
yourself.
gonna make a
Yeah,
huge difference. Like for the first, what, like 2 weeks of me like starting my whole like weight loss journey or whatever. Not even weight loss journey, because it's literally my life. But honestly, I was just eating right, and I didn't even start the gym yet. It was just walking, and within that, like those first 2 weeks, I dropped what, like 16
yeah,
pounds.
like pretty
Yeah,
fast, because
that's
you change your whole
crazy.
diet. That's what I'm saying. And like you going back into the walking pad, yeah, like making that time to having like 10, 15 minutes in between clients, or maybe
Yeah.
even longer if you
Mm-hmm.
have to clean up, disinfect everything,
Yeah.
time that, and then a few more
And then,
extra
yeah,
minutes to like, snack on
that's
something
exactly what
smaller,
I did. Yeah.
healthy, and to like making time to walk on your pad, buy that, invest in that. Or if you're in a good area, you
And
know,
it's nice outside.
it's nice outside, it's bright, then, walk, or fucking walk around in circles in your building, in your
That's
spot, a
that's what I
suite.
do,
Yeah.
just to get my
So,
steps in.
and it's like, how many times when you would tell me like, yeah, like some person asks, what am I doing? And then I tell them, and then they end up being like, girl, that's so hard, like to eat clean and all this stuff. Like, it's really not. Like
It
for the
really is
first
not.
1 to 2 weeks, it's hard, trust me. But you don't even have to eat the just straight chicken, fish, and all that stuff.
Right.
Like
No, 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 you don't.
you can just like have like a decent meal as long as it's like small
Portion control.
portion control,
Yes.
calorie
And
intake.
cooking at home.
Yeah, so a
Hmm.
calorie deficit too. Um, you can eat whatever, but you have to make sure it's within your calorie intake. You can even calculate that shit on Google, to see you put in your information, your weight, and all that stuff. Calculate how many calories you gotta take in a day, and then making sure you keep track of that. That's like on the right track.
Hmm.
Or if you're really ready to move on to the next level, then it's fish, chicken. Um, you
I
can put
chose
them,
that route
yeah,
because
it's a lot faster. It's
well,
definitely a
and I just
drastic, and
was like
you
trying to be
naturally
super
need,
clean.
yeah, you naturally need protein every day.
Yeah.
If you're working out, you're gonna need that protein every day. The grams, the total grams of for your day, the intake. So it's calorie, protein intake, and then your carbs. You got to make sure that too. So if you go on Google, type in that shit, everything's gonna be on there. How much you got to take in a day. That's a good start. And then from there, you're gonna figure out what time I'm gonna cook. When's a good time to, have time to cook, or block off your schedule if you need to for like an hour,
Hmm.
and then go back to work.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
I had to like change up my schedule, my work schedule completely. Well, not crazy, but like I have really like cracked down on, okay, well, breakfast, I'm gonna, I have my oats and my banana and like a Greek yogurt, which, protein,
or even a
and
protein
like a
shake
protein
if you don't
shake.
have it at the
Yep.
time.
And then like during the day when I'm here at work, well, when I'm working, then I like to have like I'll have like some like a trail mix or whatever, or I'll have like another yogurt, or I have like some little beef sticks, and just water, water, water all day. And then I made sure that I had to change up like my time, that I finish work at, so that way I'm home, um, and able to cook a home cooked meal for us and for the kids. And even, there's times where I do literally make like two, three different dinners because, the kids want something. I'm like super clean and Abel is like mid.
Man,
But
yeah.
so I just, hey, whatever works for my family, like I'm gonna do that because if that's what's gonna keep everybody nice and strong and healthy, like I need to do
Yeah,
that.
and it definitely saves a lot of money because there was times
Yeah.
where we would always bust our ass working, like, usually all day because we had to see either clients or packing orders or taking care of like content and just
Or
all this other
trainings. Yeah.
trainings, and then all this just shit behind the scenes. And it's like, you know what? I have to manage it, like blocking out my schedule from work to focusing on home. And like I
Mhm.
said, I was mid on my diet because I'm different. I have to take more calories and more protein than Ellie does, so it can be a little rough. And then sometimes where I'm like super after a hardcore workout, like I'm hungry, starving,
And then I'm over
and
here
I'm
like,
like
nope, you
fuck.
can't eat
But like I
nothing.
have to make sure I have to calculate and make sure that it's the right intake. Or if I know I'm overdoing it, then I'm like, all right, slowly roll. So
Yeah.
it's all about management. So you can't, there should be no reason why you can't. Because even like, let's just say my mom, for example, was a single parent. There was times where she was tired or working out, or like, Ellie's mom, for example. So it's just making things a priority that if you want to make the change, you have to do it, to make it a priority. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
right? Like
Oh yeah. And it becomes routine. It
it
becomes
does.
you are just so used to it. It's like me, like on a daily is getting the kids to school, coming to work, obviously breakfast, lunch, getting
Hmm.
home, going to the grocery store, getting stuff to make for dinner, asking the kids what they want for dinner because they still haven't yet to fucking make the damn menu for
Yeah.
me. But then, whatever, cook the dinner for us,
Or it's like, oh,
chill for a little bit,
why don't you meal
go to the
prep?
gym.
Yeah, go to the
I
gym.
don't like to meal prep because I like my food to be fresh. That's
Yeah.
that's the only reason why for me. And I know like since I just like super super clean, like I want fresh hot food. Like that's just that. The only thing cold I'll eat is like ceviche. But yeah.
Yeah, so even if I know like meal prep, that shit like if you prep for like 3 days, that shit's nasty, or like, oh, like this shit's fucking stale. So like you can do it for 2 days or even the same day. It's really not hard. You just write down what you're gonna make for tomorrow and just go to the store real quick, get that shit and make it.
Yeah.
You know, or even have your kids make it too. Sometimes they'll join in on us and eat this shit that we're eating.
Yeah.
But you know, it's everything's home cooked and it's a lot
We
cleaner
obviously,
than
yeah, you know what you're putting into your
your
own food.
body.
You're not
Yeah.
over here going to like fast food or restaurants and they're like loading everything up with like hella salt
Yeah,
or
and I
just
just see yeah, and I just seen this video too about this girl. It was like, you know, oh, like I took this like I was just drinking too much and you know, I took it for granted. I didn't listen to my body and I was just drinking too much and partying or like, you know, eating like shit and then I think she was drinking too much that she had her gallbladder or some shit removed
Mhm.
because of it. And it's like, oh, now I'm gonna eat cleaner and stuff like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like, if you're listening to this right now, you can do it. You got it. We believe in
Yes, you
you.
do.
Until then,
My ass can
new
do it. You can
episode.
do
We're gonna wrap it up right
it.
now. Um,
Yes, because Abel's camera had died.
yeah,
So
but yeah, so technical difficulties here, but we'll wrap it up. And we only had like 1 minute left right now. So you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys take care. Until the next episode. Peace.